Why does focusing on sin without addressing suffering actually keep people stuck? So it's not that sin doesn't matter. It does. Jesus takes sin seriously, and so should we. But when we stop at sin, we only tell half the story. We tell the story that God forgives, but not the fuller story that God also heals and transforms us, that he's shaping us more and more into the image of Christ. So we may be able to say, I'm forgiven, but can and will we also say, I'm being healed. I'm different today than I was last year in these specific ways. So when the focus is only on sin, we rightly name what someone did wrong. We have to do that. But we often do so without tending to the heartache and the context in which that sin was formed. And not doing it as an excuse, but for the fuller healing and deeper transformation. Because when I believe differently, I live differently. And often what we call sin is also tied to a survival strategy, a coping mechanism that we learned through pain, neglect, or harm. So we say, stop doing that's sin. And yes, that's harmful behavior to ourselves and others. But when we stop there, we don't offer care for what happened to them. And we don't tend to the wounds beneath the behavior. We don't explore the belief systems driving the sinful behavior. So people may push through and modify behavior. They may comply. They may look changed on the outside. But if their beliefs about worth remain untouched and unexplored, then their shame remains intact and their heartache is still uncomforted. And the way others sinned against them are never named or grieved, we end up being stuck. Because underneath it all is just the question of, if my pain doesn't matter, do I matter? So transformation doesn't come from forgiveness alone. It comes when forgiveness is joined with care, truth, comfort, and the healing work of God. So the gospel doesn't just call us to stop sinning. It meets us also in our suffering and reshapes us from the inside out. What good news that we are forgiven. And also what good news that we are being healed. And what good news that we are being transformed and made more and more and more into the image of Christ. My name is Vicki Diemert. I am the Healing Narrative Coach, and I talk about faith, wounds, and trauma-informed healing. So follow for conversations about a gospel that forgives and transforms.